Well, it's been about 2 weeks since my last video. Way overdue. But over here, we've been trying to make sure that the video formats are perfectly enjoyable for you guys. So at the end of this video, if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to drop a comment just so that we know that we are doing things to make sure that you guys are perfectly entertained. But yeah, as you can tell, we've changed a few things around here. Got myself a stool so I can actually sit down and do these reviews, because Lord knows these do take a bit of time. Anyway, you can probably see my Fun Home Optimus Prime leg just chilling in the back. I'll leave a thing in the corner for you guys to go and check out that build series if you want to. But that's not what we're here for, and nor an update. We're here because last video we took a look at the 2001 RID Optimus Prime. And where else can you go other than the Megatron and the Devil Gigatron? Well, his lorry buddy counterpart, which for some reason was portrayed as a teenage rebel, going so far as to steal the Matrix from Optimus. I'm of course talking about the big lorry boy, Ultra Magnus from RID. Now this thing is certainly an interesting thing. That being that he does sport his original car carrier mode, however, it's not quite what we expect from Magnus being a car carrier. He looks more like the Siege or the Kingdom version, sporting those nice rail guards along the side on both sides, and a bit more of a squat proportions to his vehicle mode, which, if I'm being honest, again isn't really Magnus's style. Normally he's just a semi-truck with a really long trailer. But I think it does work wonders for this guy, and he can hold all three of the deluxe class Autobot brothers. Now his weapon storage for this mode is a bit goofy, that being that you just grab big cannons and just plonk them right on top, and now he looks even more daft. Yeah, I don't think that works, but the paint is really well done. The colours going with that classic blue and white with a slight bit of grey and a slight bit of red for the Autobot logo, which really does work wonders. And that cowcatcher at the front being done in chrome and that chrome blue, it looks gorgeous with a nice gold Autobot logo right on the centre. He doesn't really compare to the Optimus. He's still a squat smaller than that Optimus Prime figure. So without further ado, let's get this thing transformed, shall we? Yes, I know, boo, parts forming. But considering what this guy does, it's kind of forgiven. Although, the state of his legs... I mean, Magnus is known for being a big boy, but I think they missed the memo on this guy. I mean, he's very squat in that top half, but his legs, oh boy, the state of them. They are big. They are very long. I mean, they will do something for combined mode, but this guy is just all legs, no body. I mean, he kind of skipped the rest. He just focused on leg day. But overall, the robot mode is certainly an interesting design for Magnus. I mean, going right from the colours, the bright blues, the dark blues, the black, the grey, the white, it screams Magnus, certainly. But the design itself, it's certainly an interesting take, and it certainly screams early 2000s, purely because of how unique it is. I mean, he definitely has a very, very interesting look. The head sculpt is certainly interesting to note. I mean, it isn't quite what we're used to Magnus-wise. He's not got his big sort of ear fins that he normally would have, or the big pauldrons. But he's certainly got the stature. In terms of his build and wanting to stay together, he sort of falls into the same problems that the powered up Prime has, in the sense that a lot of the things on this thing is quite loose. Like for instance, the whole entire top section of the figure likes to come loose, and they are just tabbed into place by two small tabs and then a little tab at the front where his head is. So there are some issues with this figure, granted not major ones, but certainly small irritating ones. But I think the biggest problem this guy has is just stabilization. I mean, this guy will fall down in a heartbeat. Not to mention his articulation. His articulation, where he is vast in his articulations with nice ball joints, swivel joints and ratchet joints for the legs, these ratchets are not holding up for anything. I mean, seriously. He's got nice big legs, but no stabilization, which is kind of worrying for a big figure like this. He does also have his gun, which can just transform into a little rifle and can be held in his armpit, and then he can plug it in on the side into his arm, and he's got a big gun that he can hold, which, yeah, it looks good, but I feel like this guy's just going to fall over as soon as you put it in his hand or display it with it in his hand. But that's not the only thing that Magnus does. So let's grab our Optimus Prime, let's smash them together. Transformation's a bit of a clumsy one for this guy, isn't it? I mean, the parts forming is probably the only way that you're going to get around this transformation, but still, it just feels clumsy. I mean, the legs do look great. The arms, they are quite annoying in terms of trying to fit everything round and getting the right hand on the right arm. And it looks amazing. The figure looks absolutely impressive in this mode. However, from the side view, he looks a little bit atrocious. And let's not talk about that head or that chest piece, because this whole section is just irritating to transform. Just trying to put it on, it's just like the Optimus Prime, trying to fit that chest section onto the body, make sure that everything's clipped in properly. It's just a mess, it really is. But the final result does give you a really, really nice looking Omega Prime. And he is still quite tall, quite chunky, but his posability very much hindered here by a lot of the kibble that is around him. Like for the arms, for instance. Yeah, he's got nice big hands, big arms, which you get some nice finger articulation from him, but you're hindered by a lot of this shoulder pad area. Which is a bit of a shame, really, because I feel like this guy could pull off some incredible poses. But that's not the only issue when it comes down to posability with this guy. Sadly, his weight also comes into factor, just like Magnus. The backpack, and just like Prime, the waist just culminates into one horrible issue for this guy. especially when it comes down to trying to pose this guy, or even just having him on display somewhere. Of course, Magnus's gun can also plug in on the top of Prime, which it's a funny way of having the gun. Sadly, you can't get this guy to hold the gun. But as you saw with my thumbnail, I managed to pose it so he could hold the gun, but it still doesn't look right. In terms of scaling with the rest of the figures, the Autobot brothers look absolutely dwarfed in comparison to this guy. I mean, this guy is big. I like the fact that the trucks are big and in scale with cars, but man do the figures look tiny. They look dead small next to this guy. But as a representation of the era, it certainly looks impressive. Now, is it exactly the best combination that Prime got during the early 2000s? Hell no, definitely not. Is it the most impressive looking? Definitely not. Is it fun? Debatable. But it is certainly an interesting combination. The combination out of the two main leaders of Transformers. Now Prime, I'll say it before you do, this is Optimus, the same one that you met last time, except he's had a bit of an upgrade. Remember Magnus?
Yeah?
Well, Magnus decided to help Prime out. I can't say more on that.
What? You mean another Prime from my past has an upgrade? And I still don't?
Yeah, well Prime, you got all the modulators during your time, so you kind of had an upgrade.
Yeah, well they don't count. They weren't specific upgrades to make me look awesome like this guy.
Well, I'm sure he's flattered by the fact that you think that he's awesome, but still, you had your own upgrades.
Yeah, well, I'm not having it. I want an upgrade. Where's my upgrade? How come my trailer was hollow?
Yeah, I don't know either, Prime, but let's just leave it at that, shall we?
No! I want answers, damn it!
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As you can probably tell from that last shot, the train bots are no longer up there because Raiden's here. Yeah, this guy kind of turned up last minute as I was filming this guy, and I'm also sorry that this video has taken 2 weeks to come out. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this new format of video. If you did, please drop a comment down below on what you guys think of it. I'm hoping it's a lot more engaging for you guys. But if you do enjoy what I do here, then don't forget to smash that subscribe button and stick around, because I'm sure at some point we'll get around to this big geezer. I've got a lot to say about him. So I'll see you guys next time.